What's the plan this morning?
Oh, try to make this thing one car, maybe.
Maybe. It's been a while. It's tough to remember where we were.
So cutting and welding.
We're going to do some plug welding, I think, first.
Yeah.
Plug weld the pan. Then, I guess we're just squaring stuff up.
Get it all measured up and see if it can...
Tack it in there, gusset it up.
Yeah. See if it'll stay together.
Woohoo! Alright, get to work.
Well, here we go, let's get those wheels out on the road. It may get dusty, but that's the way she goes. We'll build some greasy old cars and drink our AGD. Hey, don't you know, it's partly built.
Alright, so we buffed up all the holes where we need to plug weld, and now Josh is going to actually do something here. I say this as I've done nothing the last 10 times I've been here, so it's to be expected. Alright, plug welding's done. I think we gotta square stuff up now, eh?
Yeah, square and cut and...
Do some more welding.
See what else we can butcher.
Getting there. For some preliminary measuring, we gotta cut a 1/2 inch off passenger side rail here. Indeed. So we'll mark it. Put the square on there, mark it actually hopefully straight, cut it and buff them up, and then we'll attempt to do the same thing with this hunk of scrap iron. Alright, so we put the framing on top of the engine assembly so we could mark axle center line. So we marked the axle center line on both rails, and now we have a point of reference that we can measure forward. So now we can get our distance from our door to the center of the axle is 33.5 inches. And we know we can measure from the door to here, and we can measure from the axle center line forward, and now we can figure out where we need to cut this to make it square. And hopefully we're cutting it ahead of our bracing. And we should be, because we had this sitting in there before. But
Just hillbilly alignment, but she'll work.
well, it's good enough for who it's for. Alright, so we measured it from the door seams at the front, the door seams at the back, the firewall, and the A-pillars to make sure that we're actually even, and it should be. And then we went and cut the pan another inch back from where it was, roughly. And we're actually going to, because this framing is actually narrower than the inside of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this so it hangs past 1 inch. And then we can plate the back, gusset the front, and gusset from above, whatever we need to do for our strength to tie it in really well. So next we're just going to cut these, and actually this side where we put this top plating in, is actually just a little bit's going to have to go or overhang onto our gusseting, however it ends up being, but that's the next step. Getting closer to having a roller, and then maybe he'll have a free hoist that he can actually use for work. Alright, so we're just roughing in roughly where this has to be. This has to come about 2.5 inches forward and 5.5 up. So 5 3/4 up from where it currently sits. But we got everything. We got the body leveled on the hoist side to side, and we leveled the framing side to side, and we leveled it ahead to match our rails we put in, just so we could get our initial cuts figured. And we're cutting a little big because it's his job to put the metal in, not mine.
Smooth again eventually.
Yep. Alright, we got our notches kind of roughed in. Josh is cleaning them up a little bit. Then we're going to space this up the 5 3/4-ish that we need. Double check all our measurements. And then we can figure out how we're tying the front in. We got a couple ideas. We just got to actually see it in place.
Gotta weld it.
Alright, we got the back tacked in. squared every direction as good as we can get it. So now he's just going to stitch the back in, and then we can still rotate rotate the front up and down to get perfectly level, and then we can build our front framing.
A marvel of engineering, as they say.
Alright, so now it's time for art class with Josh.
Yeah, lots of straight lines.
We got the back kind of spot welded in a little bit here. A couple stitch welds. Now we're just designing how we're going to make the front work. Because right now we've got it all set like bang on perfect. 0 degree difference. Level side to side. And we don't want to move anything till we get some structure in there. Might be a little difficult moving around with all our blocking. But that's why it's his job, not mine. He's little and flexible and younger than I am.
Yeah, much younger.
Much younger.
Much smarter.
No.
Better looking.
That's debatable.
Way bigger dick.
That's just rude. Okay, step 1. We're going to cap the ends of the rails. So Josh just cut out some caps. And we're going to get them welded on, and then we'll start building our strut braces. Alright, so the end caps are done and welded on both sides. Can't really see that well in this light, but I promise they are. And now we're starting to build the first set of braces that need to go in. To do the side to side, then we'll do the forward back. But if we get the side to side ones in, we can take out all our stands and lift the car up a little more so we can actually get in there and work. But we want to get those in first so we can get everything squared and leveled so it's not going to move on us, and then we can start playing around, because every time you step on this, everything kind of moves a little bit. So that's where we are now. Alright, we roughed in the first braces. So as soon as Josh gets a couple more welds on them, we can actually lift it off our framing here and see how everything looks. But like, it's part of the car now. Same thing we wanted to achieve 2 months ago that we thought we might get to. Maybe 3 months ago, because it's April now.
Well, we got to it. This is some... It's either going to be a race car or death trap.
Both.
Both.
Alright. Alright, braces are welded in, and then to make me feel better, he welded the ends of this bar before we lift it off. But only to make me feel better. So let's see if the whole body just crumbles under the 80 pounds of Cavalier.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised. Between my welding and this thing's construction.
Oh.
I didn't even see an ounce of that.
That's good. I wasn't paying attention to that. Apparently it didn't flex, guys. We're okay. Look at that. What we've been trying to achieve since last year, we finally did. The structure of the Cavalier is officially in there. A lot more gusseting and welding, but
Yeah, a little more structuring, but it'll go.
man,
She looks like a car-ish.
look how much room there is back here. This is great.
This thing doesn't even move. We're not gusseting anything.
Yeah.
She's good.
Wait till it feels all 80 foot-pounds of torque. So much torque, the chassis twisted coming off the line. Family. Oh wait, you wanted to say family. I'm sorry.
You ruined it. I'm done.